Okay, we're excited to have you both weigh in on these next topics. So, if at this point in the pandemic you are tired of looking at yourself, you're not alone. In fact, and according to an article in the Washington Post, it's one of the reasons that plastic surgery is going up. So, has video conferencing changed the way that you look at yourself?
Listen, we're on TV for our jobs, so we don't have the same necessarily Zoom concerns. Maybe we have them worse because look how big we are on the screen. Like we're real close and tight with our audience right now. But I don't know about you. I feel like my face has aged like 5 to 10 years over this pandemic. And I don't know if it's COVID fatigue, if it's doing 10 jobs at the same time. And I've been doing things to my face, whether it's really intense facials, whether it's Botox. That's been like old news for like 15 years in my world. But I'm going to tell you something. I am definitely on board with this idea because my face is not keeping up with my body in the way that I would hope it to. And so I'm going to unleash the power of lasers. I'm going to get stuff done over the holidays. It's going to look like I have been sleeping for 6 weeks straight when I come back in January. And I'm going to tell you something. We only talk about the bad work because the people who I believe who are doing it right, they just look like they had a great nap. I just want to look like I slept for a minute. So look out, 2021. I'm coming for you.
Sarah, you're laughing. Go ahead. What do you have to say, Sarah?
I just love the strong pitch to do it. I mean, I think that you just need to invest in some good lighting. I mean, and that's a lot cheaper. It's just hit Best Buy, get a ring light. It's going to change your life, and it's going to change.
I've got more lights than one human needs. The light's not cutting it anymore, Sarah. It's just not.
Well, Mel, you just said you work in television, and when you were in the studio, you had the best lighting, the best cameras that Bell Media can afford, and hair and makeup. Kudos to the ladies and gentlemen that do that. So don't be so hard on yourself, first of all. You look great. Everyone at home is probably throwing their, their popcorn and their slippers at you because they're thinking, I can't believe what she's saying. For me, full disclosure, I've had so many people comment on my beautiful home. Again, this isn't real. This is just like a green screen here. This is not my home. I'm telling everybody who's been texting me looking for advice. So again, that's Zoom. That's a smoke and mirrors. And finally, what I'm going to add is melanin, black don't crack. And so therefore, I think I'm one of the luckiest ones on this panel.
Funny you say that, Andrea. That is true. Black don't crack and Asian don't raisin. So I have to say, I'm one of those people. I actually am not unhappy with my face right now. I'm quite happy with it. One of the reasons is because I've put on a little bit of COVID weight. And so that has taken the place of injections. You don't really need injections if you put on a little bit of weight and plumps you up. My worry is after we get to go back into studio, I'm back in the weight range that I'm normally in when we're on television in studio, and the cheeks will go sinking. That is when I may need to go to South Korea, as I've been saying, to buy my new face and to come back with my new South Korean face. That said, while I'm quite happy with my face, it's my body that I can feel. I sit around all day for hours and never get outside. Last week, I was indoors from Sunday to Friday because the hours are so long when you're working from home. And I am sore. My back is sore. My hamstrings are sore. So I think that is where I need some youthful assistance. Apparently in Dubai, they have this pressure chamber. You can go in for a few times a week and the cellular level is responding so that you're aging backwards. That is what I need.
But wait a minute.
Dubai.
I read that
Korea,
article too. Wait a minute. Lainey, I read that article, and suspiciously, they didn't have any photos of any of the people who supposedly looked so great afterwards. Immediately, I'm just being I want to see evidence, right? I shared earlier on that last year around this time during the Christmas holidays, I did Botox for the first time. I went in. I thought, I'm not going to tell anybody. I expected that in January when I went in, at least somebody would be like, wow, you look so refreshed. What have you done to yourself? No one said a thing. And the entire
That's a good
experience.
thing.
No, I don't. Why then? Why did I spend that kind of money? And why did I go through that? The needles
It's
made me want
supposed
to
to be
pass out.
subtle.
It wasn't pleasant. Anyway,
so
I think.
what did you want us to say? You give us the feedback. What should we have said? You look so
I think
refreshed, Cynthia.
If anybody had noticed something, I would have been like, oh, well, then it was money well spent. Listen, I'm just saying, if obviously if I had all the money in the world and I had access to the best kind of, because again, let's just talk about the difference in quality that is out there. If I could be guaranteed that I would look like J-Lo or Gwen Stefani or Jane Fonda, if I could get a hookup and I had all the money in the world to spend to look like those women, because they've obviously been having work done, again, respectively, J-Lo, Gwen are both 51, Jane Fonda is 82. I would do that. But let's be honest, not all plastic surgeons are created equal. And we've all seen surgery go bad. And I can't do it. And can we all talk about the fact for a brief moment that lip injections have gone bonkers? And we need to talk about it. They're not even lip injections anymore. They're all the way up. They're like nose injections. They're all the way up. And there's something very alarming about that. That's all. I'm just going to leave that there.
Yeah, I know. I think it's by design for some people anyway. But yes, we'll continue to talk about that on this show for sure.